welcome to today's video. We are doing a requested look. I had a lovely subscriber ask me to do a tutorial using some green eyeshadows, and I was looking through my collection. I didn't have all the greens sort of laid out in one palette, in one format. It was a bunch of different greens from different companies and brands, so I felt like that would be just too much. So I condensed it down and I found a palette from a very affordable brand that I recently ordered, and this is the look that I came up with. It's bright, it's bold, but it's super fun. I had such a good time doing this look today, and it's all affordable. It's all drugstore for the eyeshadows, so I'm going to share that with you, step-by-step tutorial how to get this look. But I'm also going to share with you my lip combo towards the end. The complexion face products is a separate video for a testing viral drugstore products, so stay tuned for that. I will let you guys know on Instagram when that video goes live, but today is just the eyes, and I think this is going to be a fun look to do again in the future because I like the way these colors came out. And it was super affordable to do, and that's the part that kind of gets me like, whoa, you know, I don't have to spend a ton of money for some bright, good quality eyeshadows that perform really well. So I hope you will enjoy this video. If you want to see how to do this look, then just keep watching. We are featuring the green eyeshadow and this hot jalapeno bite-sized eyeshadow palette from e.l.f. in today's video. So if you have green eyeshadow and you want to follow along, get your eyeshadows out, your brushes, and let's get started. Okay, so before I start the look off, I do want to set my eyes with something prior to applying some of these eyeshadows. So I'm going to take just a little bit of translucent powder, just because this palette here, the hot jalapeno, does not have anything that matches my skin tone to create sort of a base. So I'm going to just use some translucent powder right over my eyeshadow primer, which is my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So I'm going to use a fluffy crease brush. This is the BK Beauty 212 brush, and I'm going to just lightly start working some of this green shade here. It's a little bit brighter than an army green. It's like a brighter, more like, I would say like an olive type of green, and it looks quite bright. So I'm going to just kind of tap off the excess and start lightly, and this is going to be the color that I use mostly in my crease. So I'm going to just apply that right on this outer part, just kind of stamping it to put the color down, and then I'm going to start doing that windshield wiper motion just to start sweeping that color into my crease. And it is coming off quite olivey, army green looking, even though it's a little brighter in the pan. And it might just be because of the brush that's kind of fluffy, but it is definitely kind of like a olivey tone. And then as I work with this color, I'm going to take a brush. This has nothing on it. It's just dirty from my look from yesterday. I wiped it off really well on a napkin, and I'm going to use the edge of the brush, the tip of the bristles, to really help me blend that out, because I don't really have a transition shade in this palette, so I may have to bring that in from another palette, but I'm going to try to stick with just what's in this quad here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. I'm going to build this up to where I feel most comfortable wearing. So far, it's not actually too bad. The color and the formula seems to be pretty decent for blending. And then because I feel like I need a little something for some transition and to really help me with blending and to kind of pull all these colors together, because there is, I feel like something is quite lacking as far as like mid-tone transition shade. I'm going to just take something that's a little bit close to my skin tone with a little bit of a peach tone, because I think peach and olive green go really well together. And I'm going to just use that from a different palette on that same brush that I used initially to help blend out the edges, so that pointed brush. This is actually a Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush, and this is kind of like a peachy tan shade, and I'm going to use this to kind of go around the border, and it's really going to kind of help with blending, and I feel like it's going to add another layer of sort of like a dimension to this look instead of it just being that olive color right in the crease. So I don't know if you can tell a difference. This one looks a little bit more warm and a little bit more blended versus this side that has nothing. Okay, so I'm going to take that same green color with a more dense, smudgy brush, and I'm going to apply that to my lower lash line, and I'm using a BK 204 brush. And so I'm just applying that olivey green color quite thick just because I personally like that look. But I'm going to smudge it out again with that same kind of warm peachy tan. And I'm going to use a 210 brush from BK Beauty for that, just to sort of clean up underneath. So moving on to the lids, I need to use an eyeshadow brush to apply some of these more brighter colors. And there's two in here. There's like a gold that leans very green. And then this one here that is kind of, I don't know, like a lemon lime. I'm not sure why I'm thinking of that lemon lime soda, but it's kind of like a greenish, yellowy color. So it's kind of a little bit of a shimmer finish. So I think I'm going to use this mostly on my lids with a BK Beauty 209 brush. And I'm going to sort of load up my brush quite generously with this and maybe kind of tap off any excess. And I'm going to apply that all through my lids. Whoa. That's intense. Okay. I see you, e.l.f. I think this quad was probably, what, $4? 3 to 4, maybe 5 at the most. I don't remember how much. I gotta look at my invoice in my email, but that is not bad for just a couple of bucks. Wow. Okay. So with that same eyeshadow brush, I'm gonna take that color and meet into the crease with the olive. But I'm not bringing it up too high just because this is too metallic and foiled looking to put in the crease. But I really want to create a blend from the lid to crease without a gap. Wow, that's pretty. I like that. It's almost kind of like a chartreuse kind of color. That's what I should have used to describe this shade. Chartreuse green. There we go. So nice. Really, really like that. I'm going to wipe off that same brush, and then I'm going to pick up some of that kind of golden green shade and just kind of see how this is going to look on the inner corner, because this initial green has a bit of a kind of yellowy shift to it. So it's really nice, and I feel like this kind of yellowy golden green might be a nice pop for inner corner or even in the center lid if you kind of wanted to do that as well. But I'm just going to kind of go in the inner part of my eye and then just kind of blend that just a little bit, not too much. I don't want to overpower that green with this kind of golden color, but I do want to add a little something. Okay, I think I need to add some more olive into the crease, so I'm going to kind of build that, and I'm going to go back to my BK Beauty 212 brush and just use a little bit of that color to add some more depth right in my actual crease. And I'm going to look forward into a mirror so I can really create that kind of smokiness, so when I'm looking straight ahead you can see a little bit of that, just like this. Really nice. Okay, e.l.f., I see you. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of that kind of peachy brown that I used earlier, just to kind of create a bit of a halo look around the eye with a little bit of that kind of peach just creeping just a little bit outside of the olive. I like the way that looks. Was not expecting to enjoy this as much. I'm having a good time if you haven't noticed yet, because I've been doing a lot of like colorful looks thanks to the Italian Spritz palette from Too Faced, which is phenomenal, by the way. That has really gotten me to use color, and so I really can appreciate doing looks like this more, and I like this. I really, really like it. Okay, so we have one more shade in this palette to use, and that's a really deep teal green shade. I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to play with a little bit of depth on the lower lash line and maybe as liner, because I feel like this might be a little too dark for some crease work. So we're going to just start with lower lash line with this color and just see how that performs first before bringing it to the upper lid area. And I think I'm going to use my good old MAC 219 brush for that step. And I'm going to just take a tiny bit of that because that's really dark. It's kind of like a, yeah, like a dark teal green. And I'm going to use that right on this outer part of my eye to deepen everything up just a little bit more. Maybe you can see a difference. This is a little darker, and I like it. I like that. So what I'm doing here, my camera kind of cut off, but I'm adding a little bit of that deeper color that I use on my lower lash line, just a little bit right on this outer V. And I'm just kind of stamping it and being really careful because that does have quite a bit of pigment that I was not expecting. And so I think using a small brush like this one, the 209 from BK Beauty, is going to be very helpful, or something more like a pencil brush that you can be more precise with deep shades like this, especially ones that are very, very pigmented. Okay, so we've used all the colors, and I need to do some liner and some mascara, and then I will show you the full completed look once everything is done. I did a thin line of the Rare Beauty liquid liner, and then I smudged a little bit of that dark green over the top, and then I did 2 really good coats of my Tarte tubing mascara, which is one of my favorites. Did 2 coats on the top, and I also used the same mascara on my lower lash line. Okay, and then here is the full face, eyes, face, and the lips done. So what do you guys think about the green? I actually really like it. It's bold, it's bright, but I feel like there's a little bit still of that wearable kind of quality to it. I know that's kind of crazy to say bold and bright and wearable because it's kind of like they don't go, but I do think that I could see myself wearing this again. Honestly, this was really fun to do, and I actually like the way these colors came out. And for the price for this quad, I have nothing bad to say about it, to be honest with you. And then the lip is one of the new lipsticks also from E.l.f. and this is in the shade called Dirty Talk. This is part of their new release of lipsticks, and I just ordered one with some of the other products that recently came out, and that is all I'm wearing. No liner, just this, and I do think that it goes well. It kind of actually worked out together. The lip and the eye kind of go. And the formula on this lipstick is actually something that I would expect from a lipstick that is much more expensive than this. So far I really do enjoy the eye look and the lip combo. So thank you so much for being here, for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. It's always on the screen. We can be friends and chat there. I look forward to seeing you in my next video next week. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.